Anaislaure, and here I like to talk about books, reading, writing, literature, all things in the English realm. It's Pride Month. Because of that, I've been actually having this idea for a while where I wanted to share some of my favorite queer book recommendations, kind of just under the queer umbrella, just about fluidness, fluid sexuality. I personally am very fluid with my own, and I think there's only one of the books from this pile that there's like a concrete label embedded in the whole narrative of, well, it's an anthology, but we'll get to that. Without further ado, let's talk about some of the queer book recommendations that I would love for you guys to read if you have the time. And like, these books are so amazing. They're so amazing. I don't even know how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's a lot. And my camera is on very low battery, so I'm not going to be able to talk too much for this one, but I'll try to make it quick and thorough at the same time. I'm not very good at that, but it's okay. Can you see the tops of it? I think you can. It's okay, we'll be fine. The first book is Love Letters by Virginia Woolf and Vita Sackville-West. I've talked about this book, I think, like 3 times, 2 or 3 times at least. A few of the books I've talked about before because they're just really good books. I think it was my first queer read. It just depicted the loving relationship between 2 women who didn't have a strictly identified sexuality and didn't have too much exploration outside of each other. Vita kind of explored with other women, but there was such a strong connection of love and fascination and respect for each other as writers. Virginia Woolf was a very renowned English writer, and Vita Sackville-West was a poet at the time. And they're both married though. They both had husbands, but they have this kind of unsaid, unspoken, deep romantic love for each other that is also very erotic and very flirty and playful and girly, but so jealous at the same time. And so desperate. Whenever they're away from each other, they literally cannot function without each other. And it starts off as this friendship, but it becomes something so much bigger. This book tore me in pieces. Like, I have so much of it. I have so much of it annotated and just marked up because it was so good. I saw so many parallels even in my own sexuality and my own partnership. And it's just such a good read for sapphic queer women. So I would highly recommend this. It's so good. Like, the poetic language is crazy. Okay, I'll read one line. It's from Virginia to Vita. It gets worse steadily, your being away. All the sleeping draughts and irritants have worn off, and I'm settling down to wanting you, doggedly, dismally, faithfully. I hope that pleases you. It's damned unpleasant for me, I can assure you. I had a sort of idea that I'd cheat the devil and put my head under my wing and I think of nothing. But it won't work, not at all. I want you this Saturday more than last, and so it'll go on. These love letters ended between them because Virginia Woolf ended up taking her life, and just seeing the development of their relationship was, like, all the way up until the end was so human and touching, and you're just so empathetic reading it. So, especially as a queer person, especially as a sapphic woman. Next is Written on the Body by Jeanette Winterson. This book was really good. I loved the prose. It's like poetry. The way Jeanette Winterson writes is amazing. I kind of consider this a queer read because the main character's gender is not specified. And as you're reading it, you're kind of like, is this a woman? Is this a man? What's going on here? And I think this was kind of written in a time where gender fluidity wasn't really an established thing that people recognized. And she kind of brought that to the forefront, which I thought was really cool. When I was reading it, I was like, okay, this is a woman. And then I'm like, wait, this is a man. There are just so many ways that the main character expresses their love and their passion for the woman that they're interested in, their obsession. Like, they literally, it's just so good. It's obsessive love, but I think it's more so desire than love. I think it's more so like a fantasy of the person that you want to be with over actually loving that person. That's what I took from it. It's about a relationship between a person and a woman, and the woman is married. The person has fallen in and out of relationships with other women and been very flip-floppy and all over the place. So that's why it feels more like desire and sensuality than it is pure unadulterated love. But the prose is amazing and I would highly recommend this. It's so good. And Jeanette Winterson like never fails to blow my mind with her storyline, with her plot, with her characters that are so intricate, and her prose. It's so good. It's so beautiful. The third one is The Queens of Sarmiento Park by Camila Sosa Velada. I read this a while ago and I think I gave it a little over 3 stars, but I did really want to include it in this video because it depicts the life of trans women who were called travesties at that time, struggles that they go through in the sex work world, how they're targeted, how they kind of band together to create this community, this home where they can feel safe from the pressures of the outside world and from the abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse of men. The love that the travesties all have for each other is it's so warm and it's so rich, but there's also so much conflict and tension as well throughout the novel. It's just such a beautiful novel, and I think it's really important to read these kind of stories to get this kind of perspective, especially within the sex work world, and especially how transgender women contribute to sex work. They're a big part of that. It's so gut-wrenching. There's violence, there's love and hate, there are beautiful relationships, there's beautiful romance, but for the most part it's just travesty. It's a really good book. I think sometimes it got a little slow. That's the only reason why I rated it like a little lower than 4 stars. But I really liked the storyline. I really liked the characters and the narrative. It gave me a perspective that I didn't initially have on trans women, specifically trans women in the sex work industry. Ooh, we're going fast. Wait, period. Okay. I think so. Okay, before I continue on with the rest of the books, I want to talk to my artists and creatives for a second. And book lovers, book readers, I mean everyone, honestly. I'm going to be launching a book club soon, and that is going to be done through Squarespace. Squarespace is the sponsor of today's video, but I wanted to talk to you guys about if you are kind of considering starting your own business or putting your art, your creative projects out there online, and you want to get like eyes on them, you want people to see them. Not only am I going to start my own book club through Squarespace, but I also want to have like a little website where I kind of showcase myself as a writer, as an artist, and Squarespace is the perfect place to be able to do that. It's an all-in-one platform made to help you create your very own website that you can customize and put into your own hands. It's perfect for those starting, managing, or growing an online brand. On it, you can create your own website that fits your brand or business with crazy design flexibility and so much room for personal creativity. There are also tons of marketing and business elements at your disposal, such as sending emails and newsletters to your subscribers, offering your services, and selling content like online courses, blogs, videos, products, and memberships. So if you're interested in utilizing this, you can head to squarespace.com/anaislaure to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. The next one is Mouths of Rain, an anthology of Black lesbian thought. It's edited by Brianna Simone Jones, but it has so many beautiful Black women writers and thinkers, poets. It's a really good anthology. I recommended this in my Black History Month book recommendations video, and I've only read a bit of it, but I really love it. I really love it, and this is something that I will continue to return to. It has poetry, it has think pieces, essays, short stories like short fiction, history about just Black lesbians. It's all about Black lesbians, but I think that any lesbian or any woman who is sapphic can really relate to this. There's this one essay by Audre Lorde in here that's called Uses of the Erotic as Power. It talks about the difference between erotica and porn, and how people kind of intertwine them together and think that they influence each other, but they really don't. The erotic is sensuality and is love and commitment with feeling, with emotion, and corn is the complete opposite of that. It's sex without emotion, it's sex without feeling, without consciousness. There are so many beautiful poems that just talk about loving women, how beautiful it is to love women, how, reading these, I literally wanted to cry because it's so affirming in my sexuality. It's so affirming to just read about other women, especially Black lesbians, who were not afraid to love women. They were afraid, but you can't prevent love from blossoming out of you. Love is something that should not be diminished. Love is something that needs to be cherished, that needs to be nurtured, and should not be forsaken. And these poems, these essays, these short stories are so affirming. It's really wonderful. It's really beautiful. Yeah, I would 100% recommend it. Definitely, if you are a Black lesbian, you need to read this. But if you're just a woman who loves other women, I would totally recommend this. It's so good, y'all. When I tell you it's so good, it's so good. It's so good. Like, there's a plethora of so much beautiful prose and information, beautiful written words. It's just really good. It's really good. All right, next is De Profundis by Oscar Wilde. This book, y'all, So Oscar Wilde went to prison for, I think it was about 2 years, because he found himself in debt because of his kind of ex-lover, Lord, what was his name? Lord Alfred Douglas. This is the book that completely inspired my novel that I'm writing. As you can see, I have some tabs in it. Kind of a love / hate / regret / coming to some sort of higher power letter to his ex-lover when he was in prison because of his ex-lover. Just this amalgamation of all the emotions that he experienced when he was with his ex-lover, who was abusive to him, who was a horrible partner, but all the emotions that he's experiencing in prison, his coming to Jesus Christ, just all of his thoughts and his reflections, his deep regrets, but also the things that everything he cherished, every experience that he had with his ex, kind of formed it into this beautiful thing. It's like a very long letter that was written all in one draft. Like, this is straight from the heart from Oscar Wilde. It's so raw. It's so raw. It makes you feel things. It makes you, it's so, like, there's so much empathy contained within it that I feel as a reader for him, that I feel for myself. When reading it, I connect to so much as a human being, as a lover. It's just really good. It's really good. It's really good. It makes you reflect on your own past relationships, your relationship with yourself, your current relationships. This is top 3 for me. I recommend it to everyone. Everyone. The language in it is also so relatable. Like, it's as if this was written today. Oscar Wilde, the way he connects to anyone throughout generations, like, this was written over 100 years ago, I believe, and it's still so relatable. If there is one queer book that I would recommend, it would be The Love Letters of Vita Sackville West and Virginia Woolf and De Profundis. It's deep, like, it's so rich and raw, like, there's so much human emotion in it, there's so much. So, yeah. The second to last one I will recommend to you is Annie John by Jamaica Kincaid. This book is about a little girl who is kind of figuring out herself. She's coming of age. This is a coming of age story, and she's learning things about herself while also having this conflict with her mom. Her mom and her used to have a great relationship when she was younger, but as she starts to develop and grow and learn about herself and learn who she is as a person, her mom kind of pulls away from her, and there's this sort of chasm formed between them that kind of separates them in the relationship. It's really jarring. She never really gets an answer as to why there is such a change in her mom as she started to grow up. I wanted to recommend this book because it does explore ideas of queerness. Annie John is a little girl who loves other little girls, like multiple little girls. I talked about this book in my last video, where I talked about 5 books that I loved reading this year. So if you want to check that out after this, you definitely should. But she is fascinated by other little girls. She's enticed by them. It makes you really think about your own experiences that you had as a child, just exploring other human beings as a child, like innocently allowing children to explore themselves and each other without it being deemed as this horrible, sinful thing. She hid it from her mom though, and she knew that it was deemed as something wrong, but it didn't feel wrong to her, but she knew it was something that she couldn't really share with her mother. So I completely loved this book so much, and I found myself really feeling a lot of ties to it and my own childhood and my own exploration with myself and my sexuality. The book is also very girl-centered, which I really liked. This was an amazing read, and the language was beautiful and simple. Jamaica Kincaid has a way of just relating to any reader that comes across her book. in the simplest but most beautiful prose. So I really liked this. The last book that I have not fully finished but want to finish is La Chambre de Giovanni, Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. So I bought this book like last year in France, and I started reading it. I was like 1/4 of the way through, and then I accidentally left it in Paris. So that's amazing. My cousin has it though, so I'm going to get it back when I return there. I forgot to get it back when I was literally just there, which I was really pissed about. But at my graduation, my French teacher gave me this copy, like literally gifted it to me, like the French version. So it's all like in French. So I've been starting to read it a little bit. It's a little hard and I have to like jot down the words that I don't know. Giovanni's Room is a classic. Everyone knows about Giovanni's Room. It's about a man, American man, who lives in Paris and he's kind of figuring himself out. He's kind of running from this force, but he doesn't really know what he's running from. He's not aware that he's running, but he is. And he meets this guy, Giovanni, who is a bartender. He works at a bar and they instantly click. They instantly hit it off. And there's this unspoken tension and sensuality that is very close and emotional. There's just so much romance between them, but there's also so much like pull back from the main character. It's about shame, the shame of realizing your sexuality and trying to run away from it, trying to not fully embody it, and how that can be very damaging to the psyche, to you as a human being, and to your relationships, to other people. Like running away from yourself, denying yourself of who you truly are is such a harmful thing for human beings. I think that's a great theme for a queer book, but I also love exploring books that are very celebratory of our sexualities and our differences. The prose in this book is so amazing. Everyone recommends this book. Anyone that's ever read this book is like, even people that are homophobic love this book because it's James Baldwin. So he just helps you to understand people and to empathize with people. That is his whole thing, like finding the humanity in others, empathy and lack of apathy. There's just so much tenderness and love and adversity, inner turmoil and external turmoil. It's just such a good book. It's such a good book. I cannot wait to continue reading this in French. Yeah. All right, those were the 7 books, the 7 queer reads that I had for you this Pride Month. And I hope that you check some of them out. I hope that any of them enticed you into picking one up from your local library or purchasing it. That is all I have for you today. That is all I have. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you would like to stick around for the rest of my videos. I think that I'm going to be taking a little break. You might not see me until like August, but when I return, big ass things are happening, and I think that I'll share that when the time comes. So yeah, stay queer, stay amazing, stay loving, and I'm wishing you so much peace and protection. I love you so much. All right, happy Pride Month. Mwah.